off and on. Well, hello, sir.
Who? The what? Huh? You lost me and I just got here.
There's Paul. Paul Case Farms.
What are y'all doing?
Hey,
What are you doing?
got a
Oh,
notice.
thing.
Paul Case is
What
live
thing?
on YouTube.
Oh, that.
Just got the notice, did you? Well, that's cool. I didn't get that notice.
Hey,
Hold
You
on.
didn't-
Hold on.
All of my favorite foods are on hooves. Palmetto.
Thing down here, so.
Same.
Four-fingered ranch hand. Four-fingered ranch hand. Yeah.
My normal hand. This is my ranch hand.
Yeah, that's his ranch hand.
that's why he's only got 4 fingers.
Beef and venison, basically.
I probably
Everybody saying hello, Paul.
certain time of year I use more deer meat in a lot of our cooking than beef
Yeah.
for a lot of the year.
Yep. So what you been up to, Paul?
About
I was
knee
supposed to
deep
do
in
something.
water. You're always doing something.
You're always doing something.
Even if it ain't worth nothing, it's doing something.
Just under 6 feet. Sometimes I just do it for a laugh. I've been up to just under 6 feet. I used to be 6 feet, but I'm shrinking.
Yeah.
It's one of those effects of beginning to go downhill without, or picking up speed without pedaling.
That happens when you start getting old. You start shrinking, but then things start dropping too.
Yeah. And nothing you can do about it, man.
Lori says, great name, Paul.
The only thing that's getting more of it is my number of years. That's my Paul Case Farms cup. You like it, don't you?
Oh, yeah. That is a nice Paul Case.
I am double Paul Casing tonight because I care.
Hey, Paul, did you go you go count your cows?
Yeah. I've been counting cows today. Actually, I just got in from going and buying a set of tars. My panel hitch trailer that we haul the skid steer on behind my log truck has them 16.5 tires and wheels. And a friend of mine over at Blue Jacket ran a set of 18-inch tires and wheels on Marketplace this evening, and I just called him and said I'll be there in 35 minutes and hopped in my truck and ran over and got them. 16.5s, or I don't know, I'd say they're impossible to find unless you're buying new, and the new ones you could get years ago were junk. So
I got 16.5s on my 110.
Yeah. How's that work out?
I got a guy in Norman that gets military takeoffs off the Humvee, and I get them for $100 a tire, 90% tread.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Well,
1250, 16.5s.
I could get you some rims, but I think all the ones we was using was either 9.5 or 800, something like that. But I just never had very much luck.
Well, my rims aren't 1250. I think my rims are 9 wide. So the 1250. I don't have to worry about curb rash on the rims. That's for sure. But I don't want to either.
She's checking up on me. She ain't even here.
Hi, Anita.
Right.
I'm not walking back. Renly could come way before the 4th if I keep doing all that walking.
I just got to say, the better half of the Case Farm is in there, and I got to say, hey, I love you. Thank you for being so with what you have to deal with.
She's a terrific woman, having to put up with me and all.
Let's see. Bill and Mickey are going. I said Mickey. It's Mikey. I said Mikey first. Why? They're going to bed. Good night, celebrating farm life. And Anita says, love you guys.
If you was to read that one like redneck style, you'd say they're going to jump off the bed. That's what it looked like.
Is that what it looked like?
Yeah.
Let's put it back up there.
I'm going to jump off the bed. There'd been a lot of little shavers got in trouble for jumping off the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I watched one of your lives because I didn't catch it, but I did leave I thought I left a comment on there. It's where it was only so long, but you were teaching your class.
Yeah. When I'm teaching my class, I'm kind of busy.
What? What? No, what was the questions?
How'd you get on Earth? What are you supposed to do while you're on Earth? And how are you leaving Earth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't. That's not an original. I just picked that up. And it was worth sharing again. So.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Dad told me even though I hit 37 weeks, I'm not allowed to do things that'll put me into labor. He just wants his 4th of July grandbaby.
And I'm calling her Liberty. I don't care what you name her.
One of my cousins is
Dad knows best.
named Liberty, and they call her Libby.
Aw,
See, that's adorable.
Libby.
I'm just saying. And you share the birthday with the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that kid's gonna have the best birthday parties ever. Like, the whole world shooting off fireworks for my grandkid. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, the way I can remember my birthday is because it's January the 1st. Because there's a party somewhere.
There's a party for Troy. Yeah.
Yeah, and you wanted to get it over with early in the year, right?
Yeah. But Dad was always mad because I was 13 minutes past a tax break for the year before.
Did the child live with you all year? Yeah, for the whole 7 seconds of that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
All year. All year.
Mm-hmm.
He always told me I was late for everything. So
Would be. Liberty.
And I don't have to worry about what to get her for her birthday. I go buy something red, white, and blue. Bam. Happy birthday.
Liberty.
Liberty.
It's pronounced Bibbity, kid.
Now that's a day late and $1 short.
Right.
A couple from my church had a baby yesterday. And the funny part is that's the dad's birthday. I'm like, oh, your household's going to be cheated between you and your son. Now you got the same birthday. I guess you'll probably not forget it, but.
Right.
Bibbity boochul.
Bibbity boochul.
Bibbity boochul. Avid is saying Paul.
Hello, Evan.
There's Loose Screw Ranch. Kim. Hello, Kim. Welcome in. Welcome in.
They get cool names.
Loose Screw Ranch.
We just did our last name, a mountain that's not really a mountain, and a homestead where we had like 2 chickens at the time. Dang.
Palmetto says, my birthday is December 25th. I have a daughter on the 28th and a son on the 29th.
You had a grandma with that birthday.
Mm-hmm. My grandma's was the 25th.
Still is her birthday.
Well, it's still her birthday, but
She's
it's in
just
heaven.
not getting any more of them.
Nope.
My brother-in-law was born on the 24th of December.
Yep. Hello, all my screwed friends and family that got stole out of the Christmas and birthday presents.
All right.
It's an expensive week.
Right, I bet it is.
TNT Adventure says my middle son was born one day before his dad's birthday. Mine's on the 22nd, Glenn says.
Well, I share a birthday with
There's a lot of people on
my mom's ex-husband.
I got some of that strange birthday dates in my family. My granddad's birthday was on February 14th, and his oldest son was born on July 4th. We want to keep those important dates filled up.
Overall, I'm excited and ready to hold her whenever she decides to make her arrival, even if it's before the 4th, Dad.
You ain't gotta put that negativity in there. You could just left it alone.
Well, if it's like between the 1st and the 4th, you can go almost Liberty.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, she's getting red and white and blue
it don't
stuff.
matter
It
if she's
doesn't
born
matter.
on June 30th. She's still getting a 4th of July birthday party. She's within the week. I don't care. She's still, Marissa's is on the 3rd. She's had a 4th of July party half her life. Because every year we go down to my uncle's for the 4th, and we'd have a birthday party down there. Marissa, when she was super little, she thought we went down there to have her birthday party.
She did.
For the longest time, she's like, all these people that I don't even know showed up for my birthday party.
And at that time period, right then there within about a 2-week period, so that's all to be celebrated.
Yeah. I celebrate from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's my time of year, because you can go to Walmart and find red, white, and blue, everything.
Tyler sent me a grill. Did he send you a grill?
He told me about it.
Uh-huh.
He told me he sent you one, a bigger picture one.
My son was born 5/28 at 5/28. That's cool.
Yeah, that's different.
She's really popular. That's why strangers want to celebrate her.
Right. Well, they weren't strangers.
They weren't strangers. They were
They were
family.
strangers to her because she didn't.
Yeah.
It was my side of the family. 2 hours, son, for Raleigh's house at the lake and have this massive birthday party, fireworks and all. When she was super little, she was like, "Well, this is amazing. Maribel don't get fireworks on her birthday." She thought she was hot stuff for a couple years there. She's like, "Well, why doesn't everybody get fireworks on their birthday?" Well, I guess they're just not as special as you.
I asked him if he was going to buy it for you, because he sent the picture. Walmart has those right now.
And I need one.
Marissa says she thinks she's going to get to share a birthday with Ren and Mimo's mom. Hers was the 2nd. So either way, yeah, Walmart has the red, white, and blue ones.
How much was it? You could maybe get funded for that.
I want to say, and it's ridiculous. I want to say it was like $150. Yeah.
Sending my $2.
Right? Send me my $2.
I want my $2. The problem with the whole thing with the super chats and everything, and I'm not saying I don't appreciate everybody that sends a super chat and blah, 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 all the things, but YouTube takes some of it.
And that's
YouTube.
okay.
Oh, just some of it?
Yeah.
When I look back through my summary, I've got $250 that they've took, and they never have paid me any of it yet.
But that's why it'd be better to just use the Venmo or whatever.
We have Venmo, Cash App,
all the things.
PayPal, all that good stuff.
Because the super chats, they take 40% or something.
But if that's how people want to do it, that's fine.
I get it. You do you. I don't care. But the PayPal and the Venmo and all that crap, that takes YouTube's finger out of our.
I have jumped through all.
Have a good night, Mom.
Got to jump through to get that ironed out.
I was so glad to meet you. Love you, night lady.
Hey, you know what? This is
What?
like the second day that it didn't rain.
Oh, it
I'm
rained
It
here.
rained here. What are you talking about?
We didn't get no rain today. And
It
we had
all hovered right around Tulsa Metro.
We had pink sky. I was like, it might not rain tomorrow. 3 dry days. It'll be hay season before you know it, seeing as how we're only about 20 days behind.
Right.
Palmetto says he bought a
Car with
car
cash.
with Cash App.
Hey, I sold one of my little grease catcher thingies at Mid America.
Yes, you did.
Like, who does that?
Okay.
Me?
I don't understand why our connection is very
Choppy.
poor. It's very
You're a little-
choppy.
What you need to do? You know what you need to do? You need to go buy
Chop, chop,
one of them
chop, chop, chop.
Ethernet cables, like one of them 50-foot
Well,
Ethernet cables.
it also
and
doesn't
plug
help
it
when
in
our
there
son.
and plug it in here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you plug it in there and plug it into the computer, then the Wi-Fi doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard wired is better.
There's Rebecca Flaky. Yeah, it's good right now. So, but
Hello, Yarn Czar. I got one of her hats, but I don't need it right now. It's plenty hot.
oh, it's really
Those
hot
things are
outside.
warm.
Yes.
But in the wintertime, oh my! And I thought maybe, they might be scratchier than like the normal ones or whatever, but they're really not.
They're
They're
not.
super not.
I tell you what, though, I think I'd wear mine on the outside of my hat. Maybe it wouldn't make my head sweat because I mean that thing is super duper warm.
Yeah, it is.
There's like a week in early February, late January. Usually, I need one that's that warm, and then
Right.
work it for the year.
Yeah, those things are warm. It'd be good for deer season though when you're sitting out there in the cold for a long period of time.
Yeah. We used to do some weird stuff like think we could clean chicken houses that time of year. And oh, man. We got into that one time and I was loading. I had on 3 pair of gloves and my hands were still freezing. Having my chore coat, my long handles, 2 pair of overalls. I was like wearing half the clothes I own. And Dad says, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm about to freeze to death." He said, "Well, good grief, it's noon. It's warmed up 3 degrees from what it was when we started, And I'm like, "Yeah, but you're getting in and out of that warm truck moving that stuff, eh?" Mm-hmm. He just couldn't understand how I could be cold. I was in the building, that the sides was all opened up and the doors, but I would have wore one of them wool caps then.
Yeah.
Didn't have one. Didn't have a friend like Yarn Czar back then. Now I got connections. This community is something else.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
There are great folks all around.
Yes, there is.
I was watching just a little bit of Avid's revival the night that Dale got to speak over there, and Dale texted me after, and we chatted back and forth a little bit, and I'm like, nobody else would have. I don't know. I've watched a lot of people's lives, and this community is just completely different than a lot of other stuff that's out there even on YouTube. So,
Yep.
Well,
It's not just a YouTube thing. It's definitely like the homesteading and prepping communities are different.
Them to all y'all because y'all are all so great folks.
it's mostly their fault.
Ain't my fault. It's her fault.
Hold on. Amy,
Hold
takes
on. Wait.
All right?
Hold on. It's my fault.
She came to me and asked me about YouTube, and I go, "Eh."
But
Yeah.
Paul, you make it part of that too. So can't
Well,
you
Yeah.
all
They
on
just let me stay here for comic relief. That's all.
No.
Well, I got a different name for that, but we'll go with your version.
Like this nice cleaner.
It's a little cleaner.
Hmm.
I watched something earlier this evening that reminded me of an event that happened to me a long time ago. Now, I'll try to get this up here where you can see it. Whoa, what happened?
That's not how that's supposed to be done.
No.
You let go before I got away.
There's Lynn Farmoki. Hello, hello.
A friend of mine and I was working some calves through the head gate, and them little old calves, the head gate alleyway is like 32 inches wide, and them little old calves can get in there and turn around and run back at you, and so you got to follow them up close. And I don't remember what the deal was. He didn't get the head gate open or something, and the calf got up there at the head gate and just started walking up it, and then turned around. And the thing put its feet over my shoulders. Its front legs were over my shoulders. And we're standing here in this alleyway. And I'm looking at my buddy that's helping me, who was supposed to have the head gate open and never did. And he's just laughing. And he said, "Are we going to work it, or are you going to dance with it?"
That's what friends are for.
Yeah. If it had been now, he'd have had a camera. Mm-hmm.
Bowen is in here. Hello, Bowen.
Hey, brother Bowen. Love you, man.
Glenn Anderson is back. He got his coffee. Oh, man. Everybody's saying, ouch. That
It's just a poorly built cabin.
was crazy. That's not how that's supposed to go. And you call yourself a cowboy. You're riding backwards.
He wasn't really trying to ride it. He was trying to get away.
Well, y'all, I got to get off of here. And I can't watch this and keep up with the chat, but I love all y'all more than you ever know.
All right. Love
All
you
my
too.
Leonard family. Well, there's no name in all of them. That's too much. So
Yeah, we ain't got that much
but
time.
love all y'all. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good night.
And then there was two.
What's up, Bowen?
Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, we all love Bowen. Conway Twitty said,
Right.
"Don't call him a cowboy until you see him ride."
Well, I guess you had to call that one a boy cow because he was riding backward.
Yeah.
Damn
Against his
fancy
will.
boots and that big old hat. I'll tell you what's inside.
You know, one thing, he was almost not tall enough.
To stand
For the-
up. And hang
Yeah,
out.
to stand up. Yes, for that little calf to go right through.
Mm-hmm.
The
There's
Rusty
Mike.
Garage. Hello, hello. Oh, Caleb says hi, Dad.
What's up, mijo?
Caleb, don't say hi to me no more. I see how it is.
Because you rude.
I am not rude. To you, maybe.
See there? You're
Not to my community
You're
here.
rude. You're rude and a liar.
Well, changing the subject quickly. I was having some issues a couple days ago, and it's kind of turned into me looking for something different. My air conditioner, my tractor quit working. And I was really disappointed. It hurt my feelings bad.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking, I ought to just call it all off and see if I can get Mike at the Rusty Garage and Homestead to bring. I can't remember what he calls his little his tractor. It's not a little tractor, but it's a tractor. He's got I think it's a TYM cab on it and everything. It'll do more than you think it would. Well, I guess I'm I guess I'm gonna fix it. I ordered another compressor for it.
Less than a year after we got our tractor, TYM came out with the exact same model as ours. You know, the 2515 model with a cab.
Yeah.
AC, radio, the whole nine. Like less than a year after we bought ours. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
They literally took our tractor and put a cab on it. If we'd have waited, 9 months, we would have got one with a stinking cab on it.
I had somebody asking me the other day why. Oh, it was at church. They see me rolling down the windows on my pickup, and my blue pickup has hand crank windows, and they're like, "Why didn't you get electric ones?" I said, "'Cause the bought used, like everything else I own." There are a few things I don't buy used.
Oh, check this out. You know, on the newer Fords, you don't have cruise control. Like my van. My van doesn't have. It's a 2017. You know, what is it? Not Sprinter. That's not Ford. Ford's Transit. It's a 2017 Transit. And we were looking the other day at a new one. Not a new one, a newer one. We were looking at a 2020, and it still had no cruise control.
Really?
Because their upgraded radio is standard, and you have to upgrade it to get cruise control. Like they said, people care more about a radio than cruise, and a lot of people are driving it in town like little short runs and stuff, so they don't care about cruise control. I'm like, well, I do.
Yeah.
That sounds ridiculous to me.
Both the pickups that I've got would have been ordered as work trucks, Chevy work trucks, but they one of them's got electric windows. Both of them have air conditioning. I don't know. It's just everything has electric locks now, though, and both of them have electric locks. Some of them don't work, but
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I like the Transit, but I wish it had cruise control.
Right. Why would anybody be scared of me?
both of my trucks have cruise control, but one of them has an upgraded radio, and I wish it had a stock radio. That thing bugs me. I'll have to do a video on it sometimes. Lights on the inside shining back at me. Anita's little Jeep has a big LCD screen that we can't figure out how to turn down or shut off when we're driving, and it bugs me at night. It's like trying to look into a light and look through a window at the same time.
Yeah. I turn the dash lights way down or next to off every time in her car because I don't like it glaring across the backside of the window.
Well, on Nita's little Jeep, you can turn the dash lights down, but it doesn't affect that screen. It's still bright. So I think there's a setting.
Hers is the same way. Her little infotainment center over there doesn't dim when you dim the dash lights.
Well, this JVC, is that right? It's JVC, I think, that they put in that blue pickup. It has colored lights on it that change colors and flash all the time.
Yeah, you showed us on a video one time.
Yeah.
So I cut a little piece of cardboard with a little tab that sticks out on it to stick in the CD hole and cover it up. And I'm like, I would be so much happier with a stock radio. You know, it'd be nice to turn my truck on and see what time it is over there. You know, I don't know why.
It's a party in Paul's truck all the time.
All the time.
Like there's a stinking disco ball going off in between the front seats.
I need to give you the disco ball on our porch.
You need to get one of those little tiny ones like this big and you hang from it.
Yeah.
From my mirror. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, there you go.
It would look like the cops were chasing me the whole time I'm driving. Imagine how big the cardboard deal would have to be to cover that hole up if it was an 8-track. Hey,
there's Dan.
Look at there. There's Dan. Dadgummit. Dan, what are you doing?
Hey, David. It's David Glunt in Delaware. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in.
He's talking
And-
about the guys from Hayden, Alabama podcast. They're from over at Hayden, Alabama, and those two guys really put on a good podcast. If you haven't never caught it, you ought to try it out. And they keep it clean. They like hunting and fishing and stories. And they had a guy come on there named Robin that told an incredibly funny story. It's probably been nearly a year ago, and I wish I could relate it the way he did, but he told a story about some guys that was going to hold him up at the ATM, except he was on his way to go turkey hunting, and he had his shotgun in the seat next to him. And when they got up there close and he was getting money, at the ATM. When they got up there close, he pumped that gun one time, and he said they all changed their mind. Went to running the other way.
I think that's what I like about Jerry Clower is he never had to get like foul mouth to be funny
or nasty. He didn't.
Nope.
Nothing.
He didn't have to go sideways to get funny. He was funny.
I've been watching
Completely
another
straight
guy.
No issues. No.
I've been watching another guy, and he's got a lot of shorts on YouTube and some long form videos. His name is Mike Goodwin, and he is incredibly hilarious. He was talking about how people have in the South, they have words that they make up, and his mom's word that she made up was "what you're not going to do." That was one word, 5 syllables. What you're not going to do. And he was like, she used it on me when I was a little kid. And she said, what you're not going to do is hold that refrigerator door open, little boy, and stand there and look. And what you're not going to do is keep running in and out of this house. I bet you guys have heard some of these or said them yourself. He said that was his mama's favorite word. What you're not going to do.
What you're not going to do. And that's how you spell it right there.
What you're not gonna do.
What you're not gonna do.
Yep.
I got a story kind of like that with my grandma. My dad's mom. She was like 4 foot nothing, little Cherokee Indian old lady. And my uncles were all my dad was the shortest, all his brothers, and he was like 5'8". But all of my uncles and my grandpa were like 6'1", 6 foot, 6'3", just behemoth men compared to my dad. My dad was the short and stumpy one. Well, my grandma was, like I said, if she was 5 foot tall, I'm 9 foot tall. She never made 5 foot tall. Well, way back, my grandpa used to work in Fort Smith. And they lived in Poto, and he would go to Fort Smith and work all week and come home on the weekends. That's how they operated. Well, she stayed home all week with the boys. And one of my uncles, and I can't remember which one it was, but one of my uncles was popping off at the lip at his mama because his daddy wasn't there. And she told him, you better go get a haircut before your dad comes home Friday because your dad done told you to go get a haircut. And you've been all week and ain't got a haircut yet, so you better go get yourself a haircut. And he popped off at the lip, I'll do whatever I want, and if Dad don't like it, I'll tell Dad when he gets here. And she took the broom handle that she used to like shove the laundry down in the old wringer wash tub things and broke that thing across the back of his head. And he woke up face down in the yard like 2 hours later and came stumbling back up in the house, and she's like, think about what you said earlier? He's like, no, I thought about going and getting a haircut. And he went and got a haircut.
I kind of have the same
Before
story
his
with
daddy
my
came home
grandma.
for weekend.
But didn't your granddad still get onto him?
Oh yeah, he still got it from my pawpaw because my pawpaw had a rule. If you irritate her to the point where she has to tell me about it when I get home, you're going to get whatever she gives you, and then I'm going to have my turn because she should have never had to tell me when I got home. I tell my kids all the time. When they were little, I told them all the time, every one of them, you should really listen to your mom. She's way nicer than me. Way nicer than me.
Hey,
They
Johnny
never listened.
Palmetto, I just read your his story. Clocked him in the head with a
Oh.
cast iron pan. Oh man. Yeah, Johnny's usually the closer. Like,
Well,
I'm like,
he's doing stuff
well.
until later. Yeah, Johnny pops up and he's like,
I have to leave before he can come on here, though. I don't know why that is.
right?
Did you notice that? my grandma, my dad's mom, wasn't very tall, and she was old when I was young. I mean, she
Yeah.
was in her. I think she passed away in her late 80s when I was a senior in high school. But they just lived less than a mile from where our mom and dad's house was, and I spent a lot of time at Granny's. And one day there was a knock at the door, and I got up and run to the door and opened it, and it was Jehovah's Witnesses, and they all stepped in the kitchen, all four of them. And it was like, and Grandma had just made it to the other door of the kitchen, and she pointed at them with her cane and said, "You all know I don't let you in my house. Now go on, get." And they turned tail, and when they got all out the door, she looked at me and said, "And if you ever let them in here again, I'll hit you with my cane." And we had no problems after that.
Just lucky, I guess, Paul.
Yeah, I guess. Just lucky. Just lucky.
Lucky.
I ain't got nothing to do with luck. Luck's one of those things that people in the world have, and I am blessed. That's what I call it.
Well, my
Yep.
grandparents were old when I was young too. My dad's dad died in 95, and he was 80 something when I was 10. So
Mm-hmm.
he was born in 1912 or 1914. I mean, he was old.
Yeah. My grandma had my dad when she was over 40. And so it was almost like he was raised by his grandparents. So, and he was the
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
he was the only one that was able to be around when my grandma got to where she just couldn't do. My granddad passed away before a couple years before I was born.
Yeah. I think my dad was the youngest, and I think he always told me that his dad was 44 when he was born. When my dad was born, my grandpa was 44. So before he graduated high school, they both got Social Security checks because he was still a minor when his dad was getting Social Security checks. And back then, I guess, if you were a minor, you got one too. So they both got one. When my dad was a junior, senior in high school. I'm like, well, okay.
There's a guy
blessed
that
to crochet.
my children's minister at my church is 1 year younger than me, and he has a 7. She's going to be 8 years old daughter. And I said, "Did you figure this out? You're going to be 57 when she graduates high school."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, you should have done a little more planning, maybe.
Right.
You're going to have to carry your walker in there.
Well, my dad was the same way. They had Ryder when they were 40, or they turned 40 in December and January, right after he was born in October. So,
yeah,
like they were almost 60 when he got out of high school.
My dad outlived his dad by quite a bit. I think he's outlived his brothers too. I know one of them was killed in a car accident, but I don't know exactly how old he was when he was killed in a car accident. But the other one passed away about 10 years ago. my dad was always thinking that he would probably die about the same age his dad did. And so he never figured. The first thing that happened to Pop, closest to, well, there's two things that happened to him closest to whenever he passed away. And one of them was he'd gotten false teeth, and the other one was he got a Social Security check. And so my dad figured that when he had to get false teeth and had a Social Security check, he's going to be done. And so he's been living with false teeth and Social Security checks for over 10 years now. He's still making it. So,
well, it sounds like he's got it whooped.
yeah, I don't got nothing to worry about that.
I about got it licked.
Mm-hmm.
Both grandparents on both sides lived to the 90s.
My last grandparent was my mom's mom, and she died when I was, what, 20?
I think my mom's mom passed away.
2012 is when grandma passed.
She passed away a few years after I got married. She passed away like mid 90s, late 90s. But my only grandpa that I ever knew, he passed away when I was 7 or 8. He had a cancer growth come up on his foot. And in the early 80s, there wasn't a lot of people survived cancer. And he was a dairyman, and he had a lot of money borrowed when he had this diagnosis of cancer on his foot. And it was a melanoma, but they cut out a big chunk of his foot trying to get rid of it. But it didn't work. And it's not what killed him. Some of the drugs they were giving him for it caused him to have blood clots, and he wound up in the hospital and had a blood clot go to his heart. There ain't anything they can do for you when that happens. But his bank done something really tricky, and that was not very long after the government had really got onto the banks for foreclosing on farms. And when the bank found out that he had this diagnosis of a cancer, they called him and my grandma in for a meeting and asked him to sign some papers, just routine stuff, they said. And then they told him, well, we actually tricked you into signing papers that said we can ask for all of our money back at once, and we'd sure like to have it. And so in the midst of all he's dealing with this cancer, he got out of the dairy business, sold his cows and 120 acres. He came out of the thing with 20 acres in the clear and maybe enough money to build a house. And so he's having to build a new house while he's dealing with a cancer. And he had some help, good friends that was carpenters that was helping him. I remember my dad even went over and done all the wiring in his house for him. But getting any of it belong to any of my family anymore. It's all been sold out of the family.
And Johnny's just rubbing it in here that after his auction Saturday, he went to have some JLs. Rub it in, Johnny.
Look at me. Look at me.
Are you going to tell him how you feel?
No.
No. He knows how he feels.
I bet if he'd invited me, I wouldn't have been able to make it. You know?
Oh, man. That stinks, Palmetto. Yep. I've been seeing a lot of auction videos from Johnny. I got to catch up on all of them.
You won't like it. He goes with Pew Pew.
Oh, I know.
When I go to watching Johnny's auction videos, it inspires me, and I go to thinking, I should go get me a real job.
You should go get your real job.
That's what I said. I need to go get me a real job.
I've had insurance and I just paid $633 for 2 fill-ins. Oh, That
Dude.
stinks.
Dude.
Ooh, man, that's expensive. $900 after insurance tomorrow.
I'll
Ooh.
probably get the lowdown on it tomorrow when we go to the woods and our logging. But my helper Kevin wasn't wearing his teeth last week, and I said, "Hey Kevin, are you gonna have trouble eating lunch with no teeth?" He said, "No, I just won't be able to eat anything that's hard." And I'm like, "Are you not going to tell me what happened here?" He's like, "Okay, I'll tell you. The grandkids was over, and I set my teeth on the end table next to my chair. And when I went back to get them, half of them was gone. The upper was gone. And the only thing they could figure out was his dog ate them. Well, his mom's trying to convince him just to wait a little while and clean them up and put them back in there.
You're crazy.
And he's like, "I ain't waiting and I ain't cleaning them up if they come out." And he had 3 different quotes. One of them was like $6,000 for a new set of dentures. And I'm like, that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Loose Screw Ranch said her daughter, 34 years old, had to pay for her parts plates. They cost her near $5,000. What in the world? And Dale, I have to say, Dale is in the chat, y'all.
Hi, Dale.
He was a lurker. Now he's in chat again.
He's upgraded.
Yeah, he's upgraded to chatter.
Not a lurker no more. He's a chatter.
Yeah, he's a chatter.
Chatty cat.
Yeah. Chatty. Chatty.
There's a sign for chatter in there. There's an emoji for that, I think.
Yes, I think there is.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greed is alive and well. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's about the healthiest thing around is everybody's level of greed.
Yep.
And that's why I like our community, because there ain't no money here. It's just people helping people without having to pay for it. And
exactly.
You're helping me with my YouTube addiction anyway. I have to have something to watch.
And I'm not charging you for it. So
and I'm not going to pay for TV. So
I've had friends, we go and help do stuff, and they ask how much I owe them. I was like, you don't.
Speaking of greed, watch my videos.
Well, we would talk. I'll do to Johnny. Well, we would talk about greed, but we already did that, and it's on a video. You need to catch the video.
Yeah, you need to go watch that video.
That's what Palmetto Paratroopers talk about. He pulled a Johnny. Well, if you want, speaking of greed, go watch my videos. Oh man. Guess what I did? Well, you got to go watch my video to find out. Paul Case, good to put a face in the name. Nice to meet you.
Maybe I can put a little more magnanimous face on that for you.
And then you'll freeze that way.
Yeah, be like, well, I'm checking out. I guess I'm done, you know.
Oh, that's funny. Uh-huh. Yep. And Johnny's laughing. Yep. Yep.
We gotta have a little mini meetup, y'all.
Yeah, I know. When is that gonna be? At, JL's, because,
I'm not the planner on those things. I'm just the participator.
I just show up.
I just show up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to JL's enough. They know what I want. Like the usual. I mean, it ain't going to happen, but it would be nice.
Yeah.
His wife got laid off in October. We have some savings, but we're 300 short in the bills every month. So I'm trying to make YouTube.
You would have.
Well, it happened today.
Heart attack.
I was in the truck and a snake had found its way in the same way the mice did. Oh, nope. Burn it down.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. I'm gone. I'm out.
Burt
She
County.
jumped out of that truck moving 70 down the highway. She just opened the left-hand door and
Well, today's
stepped
my
out.
day to go.
It was me or the snake, and he wasn't leaving.
My dad had a buddy that was violently of spiders, and he was driving down the road in Sand Springs and flipped his visor down, and there was a spider underneath it, and he stepped out the driver's door of that car going probably 30 miles an hour down Charles Hayes Boulevard in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I'm like, what?
Johnny got a new pet now. Hi, Mary.
I just wanted to come in and say hi real quick.
What? He said he saw it when he was getting in and grabbed it and pulled it out. No, I ain't grabbing nothing. Nope.
Uh-huh.
Ain't no grabbing that. That's out. I'm doors
Well,
open.
you remember that one video I showed you the other day with Evan at
Mm-hmm.
the Country View Acres? He sees this snake by the edge of his pond, and he goes over there and grabs it, and then he cuts the video, and it shows the next video pops on, and he's holding it, and it's wrapping up around his hand. And it's a little snake. It's probably like 4 foot long. It's not like huge. And he's like, I wonder what kind of snake that is. I'm like, but you already picked it up. Like, he's like, I hope it ain't venomous. I'm like, you're holding it, dude. What is wrong with you?
Do you guys remember when Mike Rowe went with the snake catchers and was trying to catch snake, and that every one of them bit him 3 or 4 times? And I'm like, if Mike Rowe had a Steve Irwin voice, you know.
I'd be out the door and I'd be in the car and I'd be gone.
No, she would too. She,
Mm-hmm. But if it's in the car and I'm in the car,
she's out.
I'm out. I'm done.
She
I don't
about
like
wrecked
snakes.
one of our cars one time when a moth got in there and went to flying around. She's just like, I had to grab the steering wheel because she's shut down. She's just like, she let go of the steering wheel. I was like, you wreck us? I swear to God.
Yep, I did. I closed my eyes. I was like, get it.
She did. She completely
My-
shut it. And that, guys, is why I drive us around now. Because I ain't doing that again.
I see a spider.
We get a moth or something in the car, she puts
My
us in
daughter's the
it.
same way.
No.
If he's driving and I see a little spider come, I'm taking my seatbelt, trying to get out.
What was
Nope.
it the other day? I got out of the car to do something.
It was a black wasp.
But what
baby.
did I stepped out of the car for something.
You went to go.
Oh, I was talking to Christopher.
Mhm.
Yeah, Christopher was driving the tractor, and I got out of the truck, went over talking to him for a second, and as soon as I opened the door, this gigantic horsefly probably flew in there, was on the window next to Amy. She's just like having a seizure.
Got water everywhere.
She was losing it. I get back in, and she's just flipping out. I'm like, what?
I couldn't get my seatbelt on fast enough. I was like, this is the day I die.
She was ready to meet Jesus. Well, okay.
My son-in-law
Good Lord, I
has
just
like a
stepped out
little
with two legs.
snake. My son-in-law has a little snake, and I'm like, as long he comes near me with it, I'm like, I'll say I'll be on the other side of the room. I'm fine.
Marissa used to have some corn snakes. She had
Oh,
albino corn snake and one fancy corn snake, and they were probably only 3 foot long, maybe. They were little
Something.
and
I can't remember the name.
smaller around than my thumb. They were relatively small, and corn snakes are like the best starter snake because they're easy. Like they're not aggressive. They're super chill. They don't take any kind of special crap. So if you're into snakes, they are the perfect starter snake for a pet. Well,
Okay, family. Don't be gifting me no snake.
right, but they're perfect, Paul.
Me either.
Happy birthday, Paul. Here you go.
I'll tie him in a knot and sling him back at you, you know.
My birthday's coming up in June. I don't want a snake.
I
It's
don't
coming
want a
up
snake.
next week.
Even
Well,
if we can catch
Everybody
a
talks
nice one,
about how
Mary.
nice they are. She had hers for 2 or 3 years one time, and she went to pick it up, and she'd picked this thing up 100 times. Like, this thing was used to her. And I don't know what happened, but that thing bit her, like right on her hand right here. And she's just like, what the crap? Because like I said, she's picked it up for years now, and for some reason that day that snake just was, I don't know, it was having a moment, and it bit her, and she just reaches down and pulls it off, and when she pulled it off, all those little itty bitty teeth just go. It sounded like the sound it made was the weirdest thing ever.
But Marissa is so weird.
And you
she
didn't
just
think
looks
it
at
would
it's
make
like,
that.
What the heck is wrong with you?
It just bam! It tags her and sticks onto her hand because it's got these little tiny teeth for like holding on to mice, and she just reaches down behind his head and pops it off like,
Well,
what are you doing? I'm like, what the crap?
You know, their brain is inside their head. And so that should tell you something about the thought processes of a snake. You know, everybody's all wondering what was going through the chicken's mind when it crossed the road. And it's been a topic of discussion for I don't know how long. But do you know what happened when the turkey crossed the road? Chicken caught him halfway through and said, "Don't do it, brother. They'll be wondering what you're thinking the rest of your life."
In our country, we had 3 species of rattlesnakes and copperheads. Here, you don't pick 10 laying on the ground in the summer. Oh no!
When I grew up on
Johnny.
basically a local custom hay crew. My dad baled hay for other people all summer, and we would wind up around a lot of old, somewhat vacant barns and things like that. And they were the worst place. And it always, you go in a gate by the barn or this or that, you know, in a place that was all vacant. And I was on the rake crew most of the time, and we'd have to break down our rakes and set them up quick as we get in the gate. I can't tell you how many times we had snakes crawl out there and be laying right in the middle of where we was trying to set them rakes up. And you had to really watch.
I've been
few copperheads like that.
I've been watching Little House on the Prairie just because I've been trying to get a blanket done, and I've been trying to recover from a little bit of a past couple of months. And they said they had to be very careful because one of the questions was when they were on site with the church and the school and all that kind of stuff, they said, "You ever go play in those buildings?" And they said they really encouraged them not to go play because that's where the snakes would find places, like the rattlesnakes and so forth in California. They find places in the schoolhouse and other buildings and so forth. And they really encourage those kids to not go playing around because they would, of course, sweep all those before they'd have anybody in them. And they said they never had to carry anybody by, helicopter out. But they said, no, they were encouraged not to actually go into any of those buildings because they were afraid of the snakes.
Yep. Apparently, Oklahoma now has a breeding population of mountain lions. I saw that post too.
Just now.
Or just now.
People have been seeing them for years, but no, they don't live here.
They just passing through.
They're just passing through.
No.
We'll have deer they'll literally walk right across our street out here in Ohio.
I have deer that have ramshackled a fence or two of mine along the road, and they go through the same place so often that they have a trail there.
Yeah.
And at the same place, 2 different guys said, "I've been in there a lot and I can't never seem to find me a deer." And I'm like, over there at that place in the fence where it looks really bad along the road, just go sit over there and see what happens, Eventually they're going to come through there.
There's like a little bench, like a gazebo out where we live. And I can sit there, and sometimes in the summer, you can see them coming out from, the wooded area. I could sit there and just watch, the babies come out. It's like, and they'll just go walking right across our street like it's nothing major. Like, okay.
Palmetto opened a can of worms there. Did you know in the Bible the first snake that's mentioned was a beautiful animal that had legs. Yeah, not quite like what we got today. He was cursed after he tempted the woman, and God cursed him to roll on his belly in the dust forever. And
But he's right. Palmetto's right. We have a blood feud with it because the Bible says, "I'll put enmity between your seed and their seed," and blah blah blah. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's right.
Yep. You are correct, sir.
See you later, Kim. Thanks for coming in. There's Pine and Oak Woodworks. Hello, hello, welcome in. Snakes just put their belly because of tricking Eve.
Eve was the first woman, Amy.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't Adam and Steve. It was Adam and Eve.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. God knew what he was doing. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I had bears climb the tree with me while I was deer hunting.
Yep. I seen the video.
Yep.
The first snake, though, is the same as he is today. He's a liar. He's a liar.
Watoga 2319. Hello, hello, welcome in.
We told it. Really? Do you not?
Really? I was going to say, Amy, you'd be
You haven't
reading
seen that movie? It's Monsters Inc. We got a 2319.
Oh, I get it now.
You said Watoga.
Watoga. Well, listen,
Are you a little dyslexic today?
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen, I can't speak and I can't read. So
you can't say.
Listen, you're not as bad as I. I just spent a half an hour recording something with my mic on mute.
oh no.
So you're in the same boat.
I've recorded a lot of things that were long that were actually just a photo.
It was like, I'm scrapping this. I'll go see if you all are on. It's like, forget it. I looked and I can't believe it.
Looky there. There's Old Pecan Homestead, and you know what? Old Pecan Homestead is not going to be Old Pecan Homestead anymore.
There's Dakota and
Everybody
Shayla.
see their latest video?
Yeah. Have y'all seen their latest video?
Yeah, I watched it. It's cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's good for them.
Yeah.
Might want to go to do that.
Do that.
Do
Do
that.
that.
And you do that.
Dakota was actually here at my place picking some stuff up the morning that video came out. And he was talking about things that I didn't know nothing about until I went back and watched the video. And I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense now, you know? And I don't think he even realized he done that. Yeah.
Do that. Do that. God, that is just hilarious. We got a
2319.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
Woo.
oh, that's going to be a short.
Yep.
Welcome in here, Watoga.
We're gonna call them that from now on, even though we know it's wrong.
No, Amy, you could put all the shorts. You could put a collaboration together of you just laughing throughout the whole entire show.
Yes.
Because your laugh is contagious. It just starts and everybody starts laughing.
We got cows. We need to do that. We need to do like a one-liner
We got
from different like 90s movies. We got cows.
I think it's the same cow.
Everybody do that.
It was the same cow.
It was the same
No,
cow.
No, it's the same cow. I can't tell you how many times I'm counting my cows and I have that kind of trouble. I'm like, dadgummit, 23 again. I know there's 24 here. And I promise I'll count them in 20 minutes and I'll come up with the right number.
Or you count 25. It's like, wait, I only had 24 cows. Like, you count the same one multiple times. Like, would you stop moving?
Yeah, just
Y'all
stand still.
Be still so I can count you.
One of the some of the worst things that can happen is they're all too far apart or are all too close together, and it just makes it impossible.
Did you hear?
Or when your family knows you're crocheting and they start asking you questions while you're counting.
Oh yes, yes,
Oh.
yes.
And
ma'am.
you're at like the 105 and you have 120 stitches left. And I just start counting out loud and they go, oh, she can't answer right now. I'm like, nope.
Yep, my wife will be trying to talk to me when she goes with me while I'm doing my cow chores. Oh, that's a pretty one. When was that one born, honey? And I'm like, can't do it. Got to count.
Mm-hmm. He's quoting a movie. He couldn't afford that because he said, "We got cows," and he said, "Yeah, you do."
If Chad was showing deer on his video, I'm sure they'd been to my place before. One of the places that I have is like half a mile from Chad's driveway, or from his house. Closer than that, probably. So there's probably my deer. He don't have that much open ground, and he's got animals on all of it to keep it eat down. So the deer just kind of run through his place. And they go to mine and compete with my cows, or they eat on my first cutting hay right now. That's standing in water this deep.
Guess who I heard from? Is it Chris, Texas Raider?
He sent me the storm warning stuff for those ones coming in on Sunday, and it all missed us. It broke. It broke just to the north and west of us and went around us. We didn't even get any rain. and it was another one of those, they're warning that they're going to put out a warning, or a watch, whatever it was. And it missed us.
There's a YouTube channel called Ryan Hall Y'all. So if anybody, as the storms are going on, that's a great channel to have, because he's right on target with a lot of the different, storms that go on.
I said it missed us. I meant it missed us while we were at church. Apparently, the wind blew like a son of a gun here. And that's what uprooted my big trees. I don't know if anybody's seen the video I put out on that. Scott had more of them than I did, but there's going to be like a tractor trailer load of logs out of trees that blowed over between his place and mine.
Ooh, around us had golf ball size hail.
I seen some videos of that, Dale. It was impressive.
Well, we don't have a basement.
Yeah.
So we have to go in the bathroom. But one thing we do during the storm season is, if we know that there's going to be like storms or so forth, my mom will take the dog's leash in in her room so that, she could get it on her and we can have at least a leash on the dog if we all have to go in the bathroom. We'll do things like that, but we don't have a basement.
I built a above ground storm shelter one time that was in the garage of a house that I built, and it was the footprint was about 4 by 4, and 4 people could get in it real easy and be all right. But my dad told me I messed up because he said it would have been a dual purpose room if I would have put a toilet in it. And not only that, if you get in that thing and are having to ride a storm out in that thing, you may very well need a toilet. So,
well, I don't think the apartment complex would like us to do that.
But you're talking about using the bathroom for your safe room.
Yep. It's the bathroom my mom uses is the only one that has no windows, and we can just go in there but she'll take the dog's leash, at least in the bedroom. That way, if we have to put it on her quickly, we can.
A lot of that stuff that they've talked about for years and gave as things that you should do during a tornado, some of that kind of got blowed out of the water a little bit when that big tornado come through Joplin, Missouri several years ago. They had said if you were traveling, you could get underneath of a bridge or get in a big culvert. Well, there was some people that got in big culverts along range line in Joplin, but the tornado came by and deposited so much trash over those culverts, they were trapped. And inside of 6 hours after the tornado, we had 19 inches of rain and they drowned. And so they've kind of quit telling people it's okay to get in culverts, big culverts, to escape the winds of a tornado, I guess. But the deal at Joplin, I had some friends that were in apartment buildings that were affected pretty heavily by that tornado. And they had always said a few things about those. One of the safest places you could get in would be your bathtub. If you didn't have a safe room, you could get in your bathtub. And they said you should pull your mattress off your bed and put over you. I'm like, okay. We're already in an apartment. It's kind of, you don't got a whole bunch of extra room anyway. Why don't they come up with a bed that's built into where it comes out of the wall over the top of your tub?
Good idea.
Right? I mean, it just seems logical to me. You wouldn't have to drag your mattress in there. What do you think, Chris?
I like it.
When we first moved here from Cincinnati, we had one. It was the storm happened and actually blew away a chair and broke that. But then about probably 5 or 10 minutes from us, there was a tornado and it literally came through, ripped off the roof of the apartment complex, and and we had to get up throughout the night because we had to go right in the bathroom. Thankfully, it didn't do anything, but man, I mean, there was water coming through the door, and I just like fall and winter. Because then you don't have to worry about those things.
I watched that documentary. Documentary.
She can't read now. She can't talk. Come on, Amy. You can do it.
Documentary. Yeah, I watched that. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. And Rebecca says, I can't take my mattress in the bedroom. It's a sleep number.
So
I have the same bed.
So that also got me to thinking, man, poor people that have a sleep number bed like me. You're going to have to drag that thing in there with your air pump and plug it in and get your number set right before you can be safe in the tub.
I can't sleep on anything but a sleep number.
Me neither. Of course, I will be forced to, but I don't think at church youth camp you get much sleep anyway, so it's kind of a farce.
Is it still cloudy outside?
I have no idea.
I just want all the pollen. Like when we were we drove down Saturday because my husband's aunt passed away. She was 94, and it was his grandmother's sister. So we went down for the memorial service. On the way, you could literally see it was like it was snowing because of all the pollen in the air and everything, and it was so smoky. I'm like, I just want this. I don't think spring has totally sprung yet, and my asthma has not liked it.
I have those same kind of problems, man. That stuff scares me up. It's kind of a thing where maybe it's built up through the years for me or something, and I can't tolerate near as much as I used to, but it's a little bit, I don't know what you'd call it, not debilitating, but a little bit of a slap in the face for a guy who's been doing farm work in the dust and dirt all of his life, and now I've got sinus problems from
annoying,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost summer today. We hit like 88.
Well, summer's here, but it's kind of like I'm not going out too much because I can just see it in the air, and it's like my asthma's going, nope, you have to stay inside. I'm like, okay. And record videos with the mutes button on.
Good night, Glenn.
Good night, Glenn. Good night, Johnny.
So
Johnny
he's
says
not.
he's got an auction in the morning.
He'll be back in a little bit.
No,
He
because
just
I
like
won't be on.
he just like Amy, because she could be on till
No.
like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not yawning for the fact that I'm tired. I'm just yawning because it's how I'm kind of breathing right now with the asthma. It's
Well, Mary, you done me out of what I was going to say. Then I was going to say I'm not yawning because Mary's yawning. I'm yawning because of Amy.
I know. I'm just sitting here watching y'all talk. Just okay.
Hmm.
Good night, Lauren. She's
Not
she's
Lauren.
leaving now. So,
but I am having
I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm having a birthday celebration on June 18th live, and I'm doing a gift card at the very end of it. So
Is that a Monday?
it's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
I got no
At what
hope.
time?
It's a big birthday, but I'm celebrating my 29th birthday again.
It must
At
be.
what time?
Is it like mine?
It's 8 p.m. Eastern. What?
It's an anniversary. It's like
No.
14th anniversary or your 29th
Yep,
birthday.
something like that. I just keep celebrating the 20. It's a big. It's
29, 29, 29, 29, 29.
it's a big
Yeah.
one, but I'm like I don't
Forgot
want
how
go
to
there
count.
yet.
What comes after 29? Don't worry about it. 29.
29, 29.
Yep,
29.
that works.
Yep. But I don't know. I don't know if it's cloudy outside or whatever. But
It should. Okay, that has nothing to do
I don't
with it.
know
We don't
why-
have satellite, so clouds won't matter. We have a fiber optic cable. It comes down a pole and comes over to the house, and it's only through the air from that box over there to our computer.
Well, then I don't know.
It's your air ain't no good.
Yeah, you got that. You got that crap air.
You need to go get you some good air.
I need to go get me some good air.
They sell them bottles of that good air down there at the Walmart.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They made a movie about that too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The air that was it Lorax. They were
Mhm.
selling bottled air.
They were selling bottled air. Like what?
I'll take some bottled air.
Right? Oh my goodness. No, but the reception just keeps going out and in, out and in.
More
So-
out than in.
More out than in, I guess. Like it's good for a little bit and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And I know you're not
You're right.
frozen. That's a short right there. Just kidding.
Let me
We can act like it.
Yeah.
let me be your closer, if I'm frozen or not. Okay. Let
Okay,
it go. Let it go. Like that. Yep. Well, I just want you guys to know I think a lot of you, and if it wasn't for weirdos like you, I wouldn't have any friends at all.
Well, we appreciate that, Paul.
Good night.
There you go.
Thank you for coming
You
on.
did it again.
He's gone. Yeah.
You know, one
So,
thing I found
we had a
out
good
about
one.
having my YouTube channel is I get to be my goofy self just as I am.
Yep.
And I just
Yep.
get to be me.
And if they don't like it, they don't have to sub to it.
Yes, exactly. We're almost at 1,700. Almost.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Maybe by my
That's
birthday.
Great. That'd be great. How many more do you have to get to 1,700?
I think it's like 25. I think
What?
it's like 25. Yeah.
Let's drop her
25
link.
away.
He gone. Yeah, he gone.
Maybe for my birthday. It's been a
Drop-
hard my aunt passed in March, so it's been a hard past 2.5 months, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Yes, ma'am. That's all we can
Me-
do. One day at a time.
Yeah. Maybe
Yep.
for my birthday. It'd be a great birthday present.
Right?
Let's get her link shared again. Let's get her to 1,700. 20 3,
Like
More?
25 away.
25
think.
away from 1,700, y'all. We weirdos feel just like you, Paul. I know. I love this community.
Yes,
I
so do
said
I.
it in the very beginning. This community is awesome. And I just love sharing people out and watching them grow. And if I grow in the meantime, hey, I grow, but at least I'm helping others out, you know?
You bless others, you're going to get the blessings back.
If you help
Yes, ma'am.
people climb to the top, doesn't that
Always.
mean you're at the top too?
I'm always at top.
Like,
I always
but
feel
that-
like I'm
that-
on the
that-
clouds. That's what I meant.
That's the saying.
I'm not
If you
above
help, if you help
anybody.
somebody get to the top,
Yeah.
then by default you're at the top too.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
There you go. Dale got it.
Thank you, Dale.
And
Thank you, Dale.
Ace. So she's got
I'm-
25 more.
Yep. Maybe for my birthday. We'll hope. If not, I'm just thankful for all the friends and community and everybody that I found. And keep smiling and keep laughing, Amy.
Thank you so
And
much. Yes.
We love you both and we love everybody. So have a good night. And
Have a good night, Mary.
stay well. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, so to everyone in here, that's awesome. Yeah, then I can say they're at the top and I know them. I am who I am, love who I love. That's why I love all of y'all for being you. You too, Troy. Absolutely.
Dale's getting after it.
Dale is dropping those links. I'll give it a minute. Let him drop some more links and
Shoot for 10:30. We got 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes. I'll kill 3 minutes
2.5
Yeah.
minutes.
talking to y'all and thanking y'all again for coming hours like I usually do. But my internet is
You
just
know what I say
doing
about that?
what?
Oh, well.
Oh well. I know somebody. Well, y'all, it's come to the end. But hey, when are we canoeing, Chris? Oh, Palmetto Paratrooper has. You got 2 minutes.
The Illinois is just under
Well,
active level, like 11 feet right now. It's pretty good actually right now.
well, you're not going right now.
Why not?
Because you no, you're not going right now. You still have work and all kinds of stuff. So
Meh.
whatever, meh. I don't see you missing work to go down to Illinois.
I do. Hmm.
He's used to.
Dang, y'all ain't right.
Oh my gosh! There goes another comment. Palmetto Paratrooper. The deep subject for Shalimar is like mine. Well, we had fun, but my internet is just, it goes in and out, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that again in a Chris, I'm still working on a raft for the trip. There we go. Look, everybody's ready. Look,
I gotta
everybody's
take
ready.
the railing off the pontoon and move the helm forward and build a little box and yeah.
I will be live tomorrow at 5:00 Central Standard Time for What's Up Wednesdays. Get Starlink. Is that better than what we have? I don't know. Love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow if y'all stop on in and say hello, but I'm only doing an hour. That's me streaming both YouTube and Facebook. So, yeah. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for coming in. Go subscribe to the people and go watch their stuff. Good night. Best move we ever made. Oh, Loose Screw Ranch is back. Good night.